Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Right, meeting commenced 17:38. Okay. Right, first item on the agenda is because our term of office is just 1 year, we all have to re-sign and be re-elected for a second term. Okay?
I nominate Robin Eldridge for president. Oh, wait, Etheridge for... Are you president? What are you? Chairman? Chairperson? Chair. Chair.
Chairperson.
You're not allowed
Second that.
to. Second? Oh, wait, I can't second myself.
Second.
Right.
All right, passes.
All in favour?
Aye.
Right. Okay, passed. And I want nominate Joy as vice chair for the committee for the new term. Seconded. All in favour?
Aye. You have to say my last name though if I have to say Etheridge.
Joy Michaud.
Very good.
All right. And I nominate Elizabeth Paglia for secretary for the new term.
Second?
Second.
Certain?
All in favour?
Aye. Did we pronounce your name right? No. Can you pronounce it, please?
Paliga.
Paliga.
Sorry, my apologies.
No worries, it's a very common mistake.
Okay. Mission statement. Let's read.
Shall I read it, or do you want to read it?
No, you read it. I think.
Okay. So the mission statement of the Lower Green Historic Study Committee is: the duly appointed Newbury Lower Green Lower Historic District Study Committee is responsible for conducting an investigation to determine the desirability and feasibility of establishing a local historic district inclusive of the Newbury Lower Green, considering the historic significance of all buildings, structures, features, sites, or surroundings that would be included in such proposed local historic district. The purpose and goal statement: to protect the historic Newbury Lower Green and the natural and built environment surrounding it for future generations to enjoy and experience the visual sense of the past history of our town. A Lower Green local historic district will create neighborhood stabilization and community pride and forever provide Newbury school children with a playing field and educational opportunities. The intent of this local historic district is to maintain and improve the settings of those buildings and places and to encourage new designs compatible with existing buildings in the district.
Thank you. Very good. Last meeting minutes. Any comments?
No, I thought they were very well done. Thank you, Ellie.
Thank you. So minutes. Can
Make a
we
motion to
approve?
accept the minutes as submitted.
Second?
Okay. Seconded. And all in favour?
Aye.
Okay, done. Good. Right, agenda point 5:45. Review
Yes.
citizens.
So in terms of the Newbury Citizen Survey, I uploaded the updated survey link. So I included, after the discussion on Saturday afternoon around the Lower Green Schoolhouse with community members, I added a first question to the survey on, are you a citizen of Newbury? And then amended the address to include a name as well. That's
Right.
still being optional though. And that new link has been uploaded to the Town of Newbury, our web page on the Town of Newbury's website. So that is that.
Good, excellent.
Yes.
Discussion, comment? In the future, we have, in the line of things we do, we're going to have another survey Do I remember that?
Yes,
Yeah.
we discussed last time a second survey later on in the process, more about details of what should be protected and what should be exempt.
A suggestion on that one, that we might want to use one of the people in the audience's idea of sending it out in the tax, with the taxes, and then put a watermark on the piece of paper or something like that. So when we get them back, we know the date, the information is only coming from citizens of Newbury.
Residents of
Right.
Newbury.
For this one going in, I don't think there's a big issue with this.
Okay,
Whether it's diluted with non-residents or anything like this, because it's just an opinion thing. But on the other one, we're asking for suggestions on what we should do.
yeah,
And
that
I
makes
think we want to
sense.
make sure we're doing that for people that live in the
What are
confines.
the steps to get that any survey included in
No
the tax?
idea, don't even know if it's possible,
Cool.
but we have lots of time to find out.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a good question. Maybe Julie's a good person to ask about that. Is that, okay, Lon, would you would
Yeah,
you be willing to ask her?
I'll say I'll research that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is tax, yeah, tax.
I thought that was a brilliant
You
suggestion
know it,
by the
it really
community
was.
member. I thought that was really brilliant.
Yes, it was Sons and Daughters of Newbury.
There was an email too from the Town of Newbury Day Committee
Ah,
about they are also sending out a survey.
Who?
The Newbury Day
The
Committee?
Newbury Day,
Because they
Newbury Day
sent,
Committee.
Yeah.
they sent us an email about whether we would like to have a table, which of course we would.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Certainly. It's wonderful that they reached out, but they mentioned something about also sending out a survey, I don't know about what, but regarding Newbury Day, and I was wondering if it could be posited that maybe this survey would go out with theirs.
Oh, this, the existing one, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know,
Why
I don't know
not?
if they'd be amenable to that, but I thought that might be worth
Or,
tracking.
or a sentence on the bottom and the QR code.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, that's it, just
Yeah.
the QR code is really all that people need.
Yeah.
I think limiting paper as much as possible
Yeah.
is gonna ease our process.
Just, I don't know, a caveat is, some people do not have cell phones and don't know how to
And
use the
that's correct.
QR code.
Oh,
So-
you should write www.townofnewbury.
Right, not just go
Both,
with the
both.
QR, yeah, both,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's a good,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I like the other idea too, because with that piece of paper is that you get one response from one household.
Right,
In the one where you put the watermark on it,
Yeah, the
and you send them
watermark,
the
yeah.
physical, official document.
yeah. And who's going to pay for that?
I don't know, who's gonna pay me back for this stuff I bought? I'm guessing nobody.
Right, I think, someone was, who's going to ask? You're going to talk to,
Yeah, I don't think we have a budget, but.
no,
No, I
but you
don't
might
think we
ask
have
her and
budget.
see what's the form here.
Who,
Okay.
Julie?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, I know how to fill out the paperwork, because I do it all the time for
Right.
the historic commission, but I don't know whose budget I'm gonna be using.
No,
But
we'll-
I'm sure it'll just be, I
well,
don't know, Tracy's maybe, or somebody like that. There's probably a general thing.
they're probably general. But if you ask her, she
Yeah,
should give you
okay.
facts.
I was thinking also Newbury has a cultural council, and, you know, would there possibly be grants available through that? I'd be happy to look into that, the Newbury Cultural Council, to see.
Yeah, there's a phone number on the website who runs it.
What other expenses do we anticipate?
There's one, but other
Mailing.
that I would like to posit, but we will get to that later in the agenda.
Okay, because if it's, you know, if we're talking a couple $100, we probably don't need a budget or a grant.
A grant might be
Yeah.
worth looking into, I think it's a really good idea.
You could see, it certainly, yeah.
Yeah, I'd be
You'd
happy
have
to,
to look at what it takes to get the grant.
yeah,
It might not be worth the
yeah,
work.
I know.
We might be better each throwing $10 in a jar.
Okay. Got that? Any more? Let's moving on. I think it was Lon was going to Were you going to talk to someone at the planning board, I think?
Right, yeah, I'll go in front of both of them. I just have to have something to go in front of them with. I don't want to get in front of them and tell them we've written a mission statement and a vision statement.
I remember it coming for discussion. I can't remember exactly.
If we get to some of the stuff that we might be able to get to today on setting up study committees and
Yeah.
what they might look like and
Right.
the general topic, then I've got something I can, I don't want to take more than, 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most
Right,
of their time, if they even give me that much. So,
okay.
but I didn't want to just say
Right.
we've got a vision statement.
Yeah.
We've met 4
They're
times.
here.
Okay, so we'll,
Yeah,
We'll
I
keep
will,
that
that's,
one
yeah, you
rolling-
can put law next to
rolling
that, I
on.
know that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the selectmen and the planning board,
Select board,
what did I say?
men.
Oh, hello.
okay.
Did you put together these FAQs for the energy efficiency? Thank you.
Did
You
you
really,
get a
you
chance
do
to
an
read that?
excellent,
That was
I-
very last minute.
it was kind of last minute, I glanced through it to
Okay.
tell you the truth,
Okay.
yeah. But thank you very much, your work
That's-
is always excellent.
Oh, thank you. That's something that, yeah, would be very good to,
I didn't read it then.
it was this afternoon, when I finally got to it, but,
Oh, yes.
Shall I read it? Or, I mean,
That's right.
not
This
so
is
much,
long.
or?
Is it a
Okay.
paragraph?
no,
It's
there's
about
no, it's
27
10
pages.
yeah.
No, it's
Yeah, I think I.
No, it's longer than that.
But I would
Oh,
ask
yeah,
that you guys
Read,
and
yeah.
make notes and
Yes.
send me notes that you have. You could, it would be,
Is there an intro or something that would
I-
be probably sufficient to give us a feeling?
well,
I
could you
actually,
read
I
the
printed out
questions?
2 of these.
We'll
I
just
did
read the
read the
questions.
Well,
questions.
no, just the question.
Oh,
Yes, okay, yeah, good.
I'll just
Okay,
do
shall I do that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we have an energy efficiency frequently asked questions. So the first one is, will a local historic district prevent me from making my house more energy efficient? Short answer is no. Can I put solar panels on my house? Third question, what about replacing my windows with modern vinyl double glazed alternatives? Fourth question, aren't historic homes big energy users? Wouldn't it be better for the environment if we just built new houses and demolished the old?
That's what we're
And-
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's a very comprehensive list of answers as well.
So, yeah, this is really, this is a very good sheet.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's a
Good.
good passion, big
I
passion
will
of mine.
make
so.
sure
Yeah.
that gets
It's on point, too.
Yeah.
you know.
right.
Okay,
But
can we go, we'll, okay, never mind.
I don't want to go too fast.
Yeah, I'm quicker when I do shorthand on paper, but
Sure.
I ran out, so,
Oh, I have some. Did you want?
too late now, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm-
okay, all right.
I'm in it.
Thank you.
Do you need paper?
Hmm?
No, okay.
No, I can.
No, we have some.
I have lots of paper if you need more.
So on that one, are you wanting any comments on?
Yeah, email me comments
Comments
and we
on
can.
the, if you put on the on the local historic review energy efficiency.
Yeah. And then we can approve those at the next meeting?
Right.
Okay.
And also, we can possibly add our own,
Yeah, if you have other
Questions,
questions,
you know,
yeah, absolutely.
having,
Yeah.
lived in,
Mhm.
historic
Heat
homes.
pumps
Mhm.
Yeah, right, heat
Yeah.
pumps, exactly,
and
yeah.
all that.
Yeah, if we
Yeah.
wanted to get into more specifics about not just solar, for instance, but
Right.
heat pumps,
The other.
Geothermal,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
generators, not
Air
work.
conditioners sticking out the window.
Yeah,
That my wife
AC.
hates.
AC is a really big one.
Too bad.
We get that question a lot of, how do
Yeah.
you, can you put AC in old homes? How do you do it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a big question.
Yes, let's get rid of it. She's not the way it looks.
Too bad.
You know it.
Okay.
Okay.
next one is historic district statement of significance.
That's essentially the body of the study report, right, on a narrative of Newbury
Right.
history and specifics on like why is it important. I don't know that data. This was a Madison.
Oh,
She
I
was,
see.
she was working on.
I also think that it's worth noting the committee's gratitude to Madison
I
Glass
was going to.
for her participation, yeah, in this committee,
Yes,
and, and for her work, and she will be sorely missed.
duly noted by the committee. I wouldn't have slightly stolen my phone.
I'm
Do that because,
sorry,
that's all right. No, because
I
come
have
on
the
to any other
tendency to do
business.
that.
Yeah, no, that's
I'll take credit for the good and give you the bad.
very good. So, yes, we'll cover that in any other business or placement. Okay. I'm wondering whether this is the point where we can introduce sort of the splitting the work detail into sort of separate subcommittees to deal with the
Oh,
history.
bite-sized,
The
taking
significance.
this project and turning it into bite-sized
Yeah.
morsels, so that
So-
the people can, so we're not trying to do the work here.
May
No.
I backtrack just a moment to update on Lower Green Historic District Statement of Significance?
That's
I would be
right.
happy to write that or to update it.
So
Or
that
Right,
two.
this is what I was talking about.
that's
Yeah,
what we're
okay,
talking
that's what
about.
we're talking about
That's
now.
a, that's
Yeah.
a monumental task.
Right.
Oh, okay, then I
I
won't
mean,
do it.
Yeah.
well, you know, if you think about it, that's a lot of research that needs to be done. So resources have to be gathered, read, synthesized, and made into something that.
Okay, I
Right.
see.
What would be good, I think, for the committee members or people that are gonna be working on this, is if we could write the introductory paragraph to that. So that basically, that introduces what's coming,
Okay,
so
so-
that we have a feeling what's the pieces that we're gonna
Executive
be.
summary, basically.
Oh, the executive summary
Yeah.
Yeah.
of that section of the report.
And-
Just, that introductory paragraph that sets the stage. And even stealing somebody else's for now and rewriting our own later on. But I don't have a feeling for what's gonna be in that document. Robin's got a solution to that tonight, I think, but
Okay. This
it
is-
would, just having that first paragraph to set the stage.
Well, oh
And I could also use the words when I talk to the select board.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
This is definitely a part that I am not as confident in, just because I, as a non-Newbury resident,
Right.
I don't know Newbury, so I'm gonna
Okay.
want you guys to direct at least this part.
Yeah.
I will say and will to bring up that a lot of other study committees, many, hired this out and actually hired a consultant to write it.
Oh,
For
my,
that
wow.
section.
No, for the entire, well, the entire
Yeah.
study report, but
Oh, right,
Um,
of course.
but essentially the narrative, because it is a thesis, essentially, so,
Right.
just wanted to put that out there when you mentioned grants from Cultural Council.
Yeah, that's what I was
maybe
thinking,
a
yeah.
really good option. There are names that I can bring up if we ever come to that point, but just knowing that this is a lot of work.
So when you say thesis, are we looking at 10, 20, 30 pages? What would we be
Well-
looking at?
Depends, right?
I
Yep,
would
certainly.
say,
Yeah.
I will give you some examples of ones that were actually done. And they are pricey down quite tight because you
Okay.
don't want a great big figure, they just won't get
Right,
looked
right.
at. But of course, you've got to start somewhere gathering it
Right.
and then,
Right,
and that's where you may get a sort of
Yeah.
writer in to sort of put it in a format. But and I think we start the process off because
Here's a suggestion. Why don't you and I do what you just volunteered to do, but instead of doing it for that section, just do it for that
the
intro
executive summary,
paragraph.
okay,
Right.
sounds
And
good.
we can use the 3 from here, we can go to the Newbury plan, for the,
yeah.
what is it called? Is that it?
The master
Master
plan,
plan,
master
thank
Master
you.
plan
Master
has-
plan.
has about 30 pages on it, which I've read,
Right,
and is very good, and it's
Yeah.
a good.
It is good.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we could just get that, like that introductory paragraph, because then what you do after, with that, is you bullet the rest of the report.
Correct.
And then we work to
Work
fill
it
in
out.
the,
Yeah,
Right.
fill in the
Yeah, create your
blanks.
outline first.
okay,
It
so,
just sets the
So-
stage, I think that would be useful
Yeah.
I just
for
hear
the
you
three of us.
volunteer to do that.
yeah, well, right, you're both on that
Okay.
team, right?
So
We'll
I
get,
have that down.
So you and I can do that paragraph. You
Yeah.
could just start it out,
Yeah.
and I'll write on it.
Okay.
I'll dig around in the historic commission
So
stuff.
basically, as an executive summary, it's who we are, what we want, and how we're going to get there. Right?
Oh,
Is
this
that,
I think that's a bit different.
No,
I think
yeah,
no,
that's-
what,
yeah, you're
what
just
are we
doing-
looking
It's
for?
just
Here's
this
a brief
section
summary
here.
of
Yeah, we're
Newbury.
just doing the, yeah,
Just that section.
yeah, your,
Oh, just
You're
a statement of significance.
Yeah.
Okay,
And what's gonna be
why
in
is
that
Newbury
section of the
significant?
report?
Why is Newbury
what is?
significant?
about
all right. And not who we are, because nobody cares about that.
No,
Okay.
that's, you
all
can,
right.
that's another like
That's a good-
2-sentence thing that you can write to
Yeah,
present to
that's-
the
Okay.
planning board.
Well, I don't mean who, who I am.
No,
I
I
mean,
mean, as a study committee,
Right.
any select board, you guys found us, hopefully know who we are, but here's a quick reminder.
right.
And we'll have 3 examples of those when Robin gives us those
Oh,
three
yes,
three
yes,
proposals,
yeah.
just to see what it
See,
is,
they
and we might do
should
an
be on the
expanded
Dropbox.
paragraph, if
I
you know what I
believe
mean.
there's
You
a
put
study
them on
And then we
the
can trim it down when we
folder. There's a
Okay,
folder on
I'll
the study,
check,
on
but
the
I'll
Dropbox for other study
let you
reports to look
have
at.
what I've got, which,
Yeah.
Which actually, I wanted to confirm, do we all have access to that Dropbox?
Yes.
I don't think
Oh.
that everyone uses it, Robin.
use it today,
Good, sweet, okay, just checking, I wanna make sure it wasn't
several
that.
times. Okay,
I didn't use it for the
Right.
meeting, obviously, so I
Uh,
didn't see that thing.
Okay,
on the,
so
Okay, so you, so
for that introduction, time-wise, timing-wise,
yes,
are you guys, is this something that we can aim for by the next meeting, or would you like
Yeah.
longer?
We can do it by next meeting.
What, oh, paragraph in
Yeah,
a month?
yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh,
I just-
we're
I don't
doomed.
I don't want to assume anything.
So shall we write it, put it in the Dropbox, get comments,
Yeah.
tighten it up, and then present it at the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I think that's
Yeah,
good,
let's
and
do
then
that.
we can
Okay.
approve it, and then you can take it to the next select board and,
Yeah,
Ah, good,
planning
yes,
board meetings, does that sound
Right.
appropriate?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
might even
very
go a step
appropriate.
further than that when we start working on it, and after we've got a good draft of it, by reading those other 3 documents and the rules of the road, maybe even put a couple bullets down for sections.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
might
yeah.
fully,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, anything that gives
Kind of
more
an
weight
outline.
to what we're doing and
Or-
showing progress.
Or
Yeah.
more, and also more direction.
More
So
direction,
we all know,
exactly.
yeah, what,
Because one of the criticisms that we had, was that, the committee is not moving forward as quickly as people would want, but I mean,
True.
we're
Right.
all
Tough, but it's-
volunteers
I
and,
understand,
but,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, it's genuinely, this could become a full-time job.
I've only run one project where I was asked to write the conclusions when the contract award was made. And that was weird. This was Navy, it was top secret work, but they knew what the report, they knew what they wanted from the report. And we had to write the conclusion section of
oh,
the
I see
proposal.
what you mean,
I
right,
know.
you had to.
But this is true, this is true.
You had to backload
This
it.
is true.
Well, hopefully we won't have to do that.
I know.
One quick comment about this as we kind of start this process is I'm very aware that there are very few Form Bs, so state register the buildings in the Lower Green, and there's no National Register Historic District, correct?
That's correct.
And
Right.
that, it's unfortunate because that information that has to be gathered for both of those nominations is very useful in terms of writing this kind of report.
Oh,
But because we are then the first group to be doing it, just kind of, it's nice to have in the back of our minds that should any building individually, you want, like anyone can submit a request.
In the town,
Yeah.
yeah, is that what you mean?
Well, yes, but specifically whatever properties or whatever areas we end up, looking at or doing more research into, is keeping that research available and kind of, oh, this could be really easy to turn into a state register nomination. Or
oh, I see.
if a National Register District nomination wanted to be written, that beginning is going to be the study report.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be the opposite of, well, it would be nice if we had a National Register. But anyway, my point is that it could really easily piggyback onto the other, should that ever want to be done.
So, is there a misunderstanding that the Upper Green is a National Historic,
National Register, Historic District.
National
because
Register?
the town hall is on the national
Well, the
historic
green
district
is, the
and
green is part of it,
greens
the houses
as well.
around it, it's actually,
It's
if
just
you
on-
look at it, it doesn't look very historic, but.
I don't think it was ever passed. I don't think it was ever officially
Oh, no,
listed.
there's a
I
historic
thought that-
district there now.
Is there a
Yeah,
national
it
register?
just has no significance.
It's not,
They keep talking about putting signs up that saying, you know, you're entering the historic district and you're leaving the historic district.
It's not.
We mentioned, we talk about this all the time in the historic commission meetings.
So it
But
is
there
a
is-
national register?
Historic
I don't know if it's,
Yeah.
if that's how, all I know is it's a historic district. I don't know if it's a national, a state,
no, it's not an official
a
within.
what. It's
within
not,
the
it's definitely not a
NHS.
local historic district,
Interesting.
not at all.
So, because
It's
the,
on the register, I think. I know.
I'll check that, because I definitely
I'm
have all
guessing
the
it's
documents from when it was written, when that document, which might also be a good resource just to look at. I mean, it's gonna have stuff about Newbury, right? That's also in Dropbox.
Yeah.
That I thought it had failed, but, so that's really good to know, that's a good check. Right, and National Register Historic Districts do not protect
No,
physically, except from the federal government.
right, yeah,
So road work is a big
right.
one. Okay, interesting, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you find that out.
Okay.
It's,
Oh,
It's in
it's
the
probably in
Dropbox.
the, I mean,
It's
we
in
can
the
look in the
Dropbox.
plan.
you can look at
It's in the Dropbox.
or also to check any of those, Macris, Massachusetts Cultural Resource something.
Is it on?
It's online, and you can look up any property, any
Yeah.
district, and it looks at National Register, Local Historic District, State Register. It even says that there are easements sometimes on the
Yeah.
properties. Doesn't go into what they are, but it does tell you that, you know, this.
Well,
property-
one of the reasons the Newbury Bank is in the building it's in, is because they couldn't tear the building down.
Oh,
So they put the bank in the building, because it had to stay the way it was.
interesting.
Because it was on the green and it was in the historic district.
Macris is Massachusetts.
Cultural resource.
And neither of our houses are on it.
Ah, yes. Information
Yeah, they're not.
system.
Seven taverns on it.
Yeah,
It's an acronym. If you Google MACRIS,
Okay.
yeah.
it comes up, and it's fairly nice to use. You can do it by town, so you can look at
I'd
many.
love to put my house in it, and someday I'll have time.
Right, and this is the
It's
beginning
not
of,
really
of
time
that,
consuming.
that research.
Yeah, it's a lot of research here.
It is. We're doing it similarly for Coffin, I think. The Coffin House.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Either that or Dole Little.
That wasn't on Macris?
One of the two is not listed on the state register, and
Wow.
to be eligible for grants, it must be, and
Yeah.
so that's our first step.
You're kidding.
Right.
Yeah, I know, right?
Is it Sweat Ilsley?
I don't know. It's one of
How about
them.
SPL?
No, that one's listed.
Yeah, that
one's
one,
good.
yeah,
The other
okay,
three I
okay,
don't
that
know.
one's golden.
Right.
Well, actually, Jan led me to believe that all the properties in a local historic district had to be on Macris.
No,
They're not.
I don't know.
they don't have to be.
Well, anyway.
They might have to be
Yeah.
eligible
Mm.
for state listing, but they don't have to be state listed.
Oh, wait a minute, oh, Macris isn't just,
Macris is just the information system.
it's just the
that
information
holds all of
system,
them.
right? Yeah.
Every property is on Macris. There may be zero information about all of the properties, because there may not be any.
Oh, really?
Designations.
I've never,
Yeah, I
can
never
look it
have
up.
either.
Yeah.
So is Macris, do they use deed information? Is that
It
where?
must be how they
Yeah,
link it.
because,
Yeah.
yeah,
But for the details, you still have to go to the registry of
yeah,
deeds.
not gonna happen.
Right, so at this point, is this,
Okay.
should we, so we've covered, you guys are doing the sort of high level statement, the significance of the green and the bronze around it. Because we also got to do the write-up of both the sort of history of the individual
yeah.
buildings as to why it goes in, because you're not going down to the granular level.
No.
Yet.
And we've also
Yet,
got to do
right.
the architecture of and the style of the buildings and why they're important as well.
Okay.
So, and that's where I think rather than coming to this meeting and then noodling around, we actually break out and just have to say, you guys are doing that, and we may need to have co-op people who are come in as a subcommittee to cover architecture or history of buildings or and whatever else.
So
Okay.
general citizens,
So
just
which-
citizens.
Could, if you need to, if we got
If we
you know,
need to,
people
okay.
who,
Manpower.
Actually-
Willing-
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Well,
willing
sacrifice.
manpower.
Sacrificial lambs.
So we do it now. Well, I mean, these don't necessarily go into the report item by item, but effectively it gives us a complete study database to draw out
Yeah.
why. And if you look at the other reports, which I'll send out, you'll see commentaries of individual bills and a bit of history of, you know, it adds to the statement as to why
Yeah.
it's significant, relevant.
Cool.
Okay.
It's
So
just
for
something else,
example,
Rob.
you know, this has got a history on it, you know, and that will be a property, it's a property, so we'll
Oh, right,
use
right.
that. We don't need to,
Right,
I mean,
reinvent the wheel,
no,
yeah.
exactly.
Right, right.
So that's the whole.
So we know there's at least two sections. There's the historical section, there's the discussion of architecture,
Yes.
but we're looking for a fifth person.
Yes.
Should we get an architectural person?
That's always a
Ooh.
possibility, yeah. I mean, I think
And maybe Pat
we'll,
might be informed.
yeah,
Just a thought.
yeah. I mean,
Somebody with architectural
yes,
background or
absolutely.
knowledge.
I think.
I know if we got Joni, she can point to a house and say what it is.
Yeah.
That might be,
Might be one, yeah. I think,
But
I think
Don't
what-
don't you think that Ellie is an architectural historian?
Absolutely.
More
Well,
than happy
what
to
I was
have
going
that.
to do is now say, you guys are doing that bit. Now, some of you might want to do the history, but also like Ellie might want to encompass the architectural bit, and we have
yeah.
you know, I
Right.
can work with either or whatever, and then we focus on that, which means we're going away doing our, you know, getting on with it,
Yeah.
and then whoever, we may come later on in the agenda as to whether we need more committee members.
If you're doing like a subcommittee, say on architecture or whatever, I would love to be on that subcommittee. I'm an amateur
Right, okay.
architectural
We-
historian
we-
myself, so I would love that,
But,
you know.
yeah, but we want to make sure you're not spread too
Quorum.
thinly as well.
Well, also it's.
But of course-
Something.
I have
This
never
should
been
be-
called thin.
Right. Right. Because this
Don't
is
say
all
right.
recording.
Oh,
However, this project should be overdone with, in which case,
Right.
whereas.
Right, that's
this
what I
is-
mean.
This is
Yeah.
short term. It'll be
Short term.
done in
Yeah.
Okay,
this-
and then,
this is quick.
and then likewise,
At least won't take a
individual
lot of
history
time.
will
No.
try to say,
During the next
I'll
month.
be the
Yeah.
point person on that,
Yeah.
which means we're not having to all come around a meeting and then we just don't, we
Right.
can go away and get things done and
Mhm,
co-op
agreed.
who you want.
So,
And then it presents to everyone.
it seems like we definitely have there are two big chunks of the report so far that would need, help, narrative,
Yeah.
history, and architecture. But it might also be helpful just to have a bit more of the outline, to then,
Yeah.
like, beneath that, architecture, art, well, like, again, where do we start? Do you look at individual buildings, are we looking at, like, do
Cultural
you do like a
heritage.
survey, like a building survey, go around and say this was built this is this
Yeah,
period,
well,
this has been
that-
altered in X, Y, Z fashion,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
just that, and so, like, that's good,
That's
because at least then you have
really-
data, right?
Yep.
I'm thinking back to the report I wrote like this in my grad studies, and what else we looked at. But then in terms of narrative, like breaking it down into periods. And so
Right.
then we can,
Yeah.
two people take this
Yeah.
period, two people take this period, and we can kind of divvy it up. So
Yes.
maybe for next meeting, it'd be helpful to try and create kind of that kind of outline, so then we can actually give,
And again, the three reports will
Science.
probably help.
Yeah, we can
For
look
us
through
that haven't
those.
done this
Like, yeah,
before.
how many first period, how many, that.
yeah,
and
yeah,
then-
what's the layout,
Yeah.
what is Newbury in
Okay, I've
general?
got some more angles on that, which I'll.
Okay,
If
so,
you-
Yeah.
If you stand in the middle of the green
Yeah,
and spin and look, everything pretty much was built between 1800 and 1830. Yeah, I mean,
Earlier than that.
early.
even earlier, because
way
18,
and there's later too.
But anyway, and there's
Yeah.
but effectively.
What is
we
yours?
1780, so,
oh, well, okay, so a little earlier, not 2020.
Well,
But I
and,
mean,
yeah.
and
it's
Lisa
second-
and Steve's
it's
is
second
older.
anyway, it's
I
not-
think that's
But
1750-ish.
we'll break it
Okay.
down.
No, it's
Okay, so let's create an
1799.
outline.
Oh, is it
for
17?
next-
Yeah, at least that's where the deli
Okay.
is.
That's all. I think what we do here, we now got the idea,
Yeah.
we'll create the outline of what the committee's doing
Yes.
and how it breaks out into your
Management
point's valid
chunks.
into,
Well, that tells us what the
Chunk.
study groups have to go
Exactly,
study.
it just makes
Yes.
them bite-sized chunks, like I was
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
that-
and
that's
then
good.
it can be
That's
focused,
good.
you don't have to do
Oh,
it.
I know
So-
so-and-so who might be a really good resource, maybe they can help us
Correct,
Good.
on this bit.
Good.
correct.
Good. Okay.
Okay, so that's great now, like next meeting, cool. Robin, do you and I want to take that?
Yep.
They're on, okay.
Oh yeah, put down, assign, please,
Okay, and in terms of, some of these things would be great to have notes before the next meeting, and I realize that we haven't, case in point, FAQs for energy efficiency, not super great about like letting people know, for one, that they're on Dropbox or available, or getting them done, so just send out an email when they're ready for
Yeah.
for notes, that's, okay, cool. Cool, that's fun, history's fun.
Love it.
are you noted up? Well, it's relative.
We are good, I am up to date.
Okay, now, before we get on to the next one, which is a review of the, well, we're on the next one, review
Yeah,
of the
that's-
boundaries.
yeah.
I would like to write in, I would like it on the record, which is part of our research and findings to date, so we can have it minuted where we stand on this, and which would like your agreement on. I'll just read it all out, but it will be put down in the minutes so that we've got it. We know what we're talking about.
Hopefully we'll read it, discuss it, comment on it, edit it, and then put it in the minutes.
Yeah, I'm reading
Right,
it out
okay,
now. Yeah, I mean it's
If we're gonna-
effectively done.
if
we're
If
going
you're
to.
do it.
The
Yeah,
first
absolutely.
draft.
The first draft.
Okay.
This is
So
this
this
is
is
First draft.
introducing
this,
it.
Okay.
I'm introducing
Yeah.
for. So anyway, this is the and just a sort of preface to it is the Historic Districts Act has served Massachusetts communities for well over 50 years, helping to protect thousands of significant historic resources. Because local historic districts have direct impact on property rights, the question of their legal basis and constitutionality often arises. Historic district controls exist within the broader context of land use regulations that have been extensively reviewed and examined by the courts. So during the course of the Lower Green Local Historic District Subcommittee's deliberations and meetings, at least 2 properties abutting the Lower Green have presented their concerns about the inclusion of the proposed LHD. So the LGHDSC would prefer that the proposed Lower Green Local Historic District and regulations should encompass all properties, amongst others, abutting the Lower Green, in line with the MHC practice. However, in view of the recognition, in recognition of the above-mentioned concerns, the LGHDSC proposes that several properties that are currently in the course of development, renovation, restoration at this time should be exempt from the LHD regulations at this time. In addition, property that may be considered as an abandoned or non-restorable structure which could be developed in the future, and it is significant in that it completely encompasses the first settlers' burying ground, a historically significant property that should be protected. We're recommending a similar exception to this property if it is included within the local historic district boundary, until we approach the owner to ascertain how to treat this significant historic landmark located within the developable piece of private property. So the properties concerned are 240 High Road, 277 High Road and 2 Cottage Road. Okay? So I've sort of proposed this to the
This is
as a motion.
draft statement that
Draft
we're going to
statement.
vote on or
We're gonna
discuss and
vote
vote
on,
on, okay.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
Okay,
Discussion.
discussion. Right.
I think it's
Okay,
good,
voting,
I
yeah.
think this is good to go down on record. on
Yes,
this.
I think so, yeah. I mean, we've acknowledged the concerns, documented it, and come up with a very good way to deal with it.
I think it's respectful
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
the property owner's
Right.
rights and concerns.
So, and it will be, passed into the report. So, I
And,
guess-
regarding the 240 High Road, are
That's-
we gonna try and contact the owner?
we have.
We
he has-
also have to.
Yeah, we have,
contact
no, we
every
have.
Yeah, no, I meant to get a opinion, yeah.
Yes, we have. He hasn't come back with the opinion, other than it's ongoing discussions, as I've said.
Yeah. The unusual part about that is one of our significant resources is sitting in the middle of his
Yeah.
property.
And which is
But it is a separate parcel of land
Yeah,
Owned by
right,
some
with
owners.
access.
So,
yeah.
with an
Is it
easement.
in the
Easement,
center?
right.
It's in the center of
Oh,
his
it's
land?
entirely
Entirely
encompassed,
surrounded.
yeah.
Is
It's
it
a little, I
really?
know, it's so
Oh my
odd.
gosh,
It's
that's
owned by
weird.
the-
But yeah, it's, I mean, you can't really, I mean, you could, but you don't really move bigger
So
lots
that
traditionally,
should
so.
also have the same exemption, the same process as the other properties I've just mentioned that abut the green, so that they are exempt from the regulations. Anyway, all in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
So, passed.
I'm almost done.
Mm. We didn't vote on a secretary.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Yes.
Mhm.
Did I vote for
I'm
you?
pretty sure you
Yes,
seconded
you
it.
You
Did I?
said-
Okay. Oh, yes, we did, that's right. You pronounced your name incorrectly, that's why I didn't recognize you.
Right.
Our fifth member? Is that
What?
additional
What? Sorry.
choosing or nominating or putting names forward for our fifth member? Replacement?
They haven't been contacted
The
yet, right?
right. Okay. Firstly,
Do we have to do that first?
if you want to do that, is the board has to approve another member, which I
Select
think
board.
we should. The select board has to approve it, and I propose. I've got two interesting recommendations, which I'll give to you.
Okay.
First is Bethany Dorau, D-O-R-A-U, Executive Director of the Museum of Old Newbury. And the second is Patricia Skibby of River Valley Real Estate, West Newbury. And I was, with committee approval, just going to
2 years
approach.
at the end.
Yes, 2 weeks in the end. I was going to approach Alicia Greco to
Okay.
make the approach, because it has to come from them, not us.
They have to approach these people?
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
That's
Yeah, it
what I
can't be
understood.
Oh, I,
us.
okay,
It has to be appointed.
okay, I
So we
see.
cannot just fill in. And that's what the town clerk said.
Okay,
And in the event, or they, that's our recommendation,
You don't have to
may
follow it.
may have other potentials.
They're volunteers, right?
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So I was going to, I'll, after this meeting, assuming we're all right with those, do we have to have a motion on that? I don't.
so moved.
Okay.
Seconded.
Right.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Just those are our candidates at this point in time. What I don't know is whether they were approached in the first round or
Yeah.
by
They
the
may have
select
already
board,
said
or
no.
they may have already said no. But so we'll deal with that. business.
That's the word I was looking for, business. Thank you. It's like additional
Stuff.
items is what I came up with, but yeah, business is the word I was looking
Right.
for. Okay.
Maybe have an other business at the end, just a question.
Yeah.
That is where we are.
Yeah. So we've dealt with the Town of Newbury Day Committee. Can we just record the date? When is it?
August 26th.
August 26th, yeah.
Okay, also, and who's, we're going to organise a table and attendance.
I'll be in Upper Maine.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have to bring my son to college that weekend, so I'm not sure, yeah.
TBD.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
I
TBD.
I can do
around.
prep work.
If not, I'd be happy to, you know,
Yeah.
I'm back from the UK, so.
man.
And I should be
Simon,
around as
right?
well.
And
I'll help with prep work beforehand, I just can't be there
certainly.
that day.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll be gone
You're
a
ready
week
to,
there.
okay.
And if I was Historic Commission, they'd probably have me at their table, so.
right. Okay, so I'm okay for that. We can
Okay.
borrow a table from whatever thing is.
Yes,
I've
I
got
do
another item. Any other business? Just to say thank you all for coming along to the first of what will be hopefully 3 public outreaches. I think the second one we might try. We might try and have in a different location.
Yeah,
So,
good, yeah, that's a good idea,
like
Byfield,
Byfield,
yeah, maybe Plum Island.
Maybe Plum Island.
Yeah.
I think we have to, make sure everyone's involved.
That's good.
And also, I got a very complimentary words from the sons and daughters of Newbury, who have invited us to come and see the maps they have, and they've got really
that's right.
old maps
Lovely.
of
Bunch of old maps.
of the Lower Green, which go back apparently a very long way, in their archives.
Wow.
Awesome.
And they may be important for study material. So
Right.
Yeah.
I think Lon and I, whoever's around when we've connected, they've volunteered all this and said, they want to be engaged.
Wonderful.
Maybe we could use one of the pictures, a neat one of the green for the cover of our report.
Yeah,
So where are their archives? The Newburyport,
I think the Newburyport Library.
Library in the
Yeah, I
archives?
think,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that
but
would make
I'm
sense.
not sure, yeah.
either that or the Museum of Old Newbury.
It could be either, but anyway,
Yeah.
so I've already emailed them and started the process on. Particularly, their interest was because of that building is a first period house, and
Oh, yes, the Jack
and
Minulet
it's
House.
owned by and they're a non-profit, so
Right.
they it's sort of they're very.
Are you aware of the Jack Minulet House?
I spoke with, well, I don't remember her name, their names,
Eva
but
Jackman?
on Saturday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Was it?
It's
About
Ilsley,
the
the lady
house.
that's in
Yes,
Ilsley?
thank you,
Yes,
that's
yes. Yes.
Ilsley.
Right.
Yeah, I spoke with them about the house. I have not been, but I asked when they were open, and it's hopefully
It's sweet.
they will.
very
Yeah, I'll be able to
sweet,
go
yeah.
see it this summer. So
Beautiful.
It'll be wonderful. I still
They're,
haven't seen
yeah.
our other museums around
Oh,
Notre Dame, so
no. We won't go into that.
yeah,
Right.
no,
Okay.
terrible. Yeah,
So
this is yours.
thank you. So I will do that. And the other thing to note, I suppose, for me is we now have our own mailbox here. As yet, we've had no mail, so we've had no response from any of the other people who sent letters to, other than the verbal one from Sons and Daughters said they got the letter and they say they were.
Shall I read out our address again and
Yeah.
email into,
Well,
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have the updated mailbox?
I do.
No, okay, cool. That's good.
do I?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea what it is. That's my question.
I don't know.
Beforehand, it was just.
No,
Yeah,
it's-
200.
Well, no, it was just attention to
Extension
Julie.
to it, yeah. We don't have a mailbox, a PO box.
Yeah.
No, okay,
It's
no,
just
we
here,
don't.
but we have our own, so it
A
doesn't get.
box,
Yeah.
physically a box.
So we don't have
Is
to
it
put
numbered?
attention to Julie.
No, you just go and ask.
Okay, all right, so,
Okay.
if you would like to send any information to us, Our email is LHD as in David, S as in Sam, C, well, lhdscommittee@townofnewbury.org. Our physical address is the Lower Green Historic District Study Committee, Town Hall, 12 Kent Way, Suite 200, Byfield, Massachusetts, 01922. We welcome your comments, please.
Thank you.
This.
It is fine.
What was the?
01922.
Thank you.
Zip code.
And it just is of note that I did fix our email address on the website. It was spelled incorrectly.
What was it?
The @ symbol was a period.
Oh, huh. Okay, so I have the good one that I just written to the record.
Okay. What else? Any other?
In terms of those other 2 info sessions, was there any thought on dates, or is that after August, or we, no, I know that
Shall we wait until we got some responses?
yeah, there's no real rush, right? We can really host info sessions at any point in this process.
And also whereabouts as well. I mean, I didn't know.
Right,
where
that was
it is.
the other question, yeah.
But I like the idea of in different parts.
Yeah, the different parts of Newbury.
Just so we.
Because, you know, each part is as
Yeah.
important as the other.
If
Ellie, I wanted to ask you, did you put any information on the Facebook page for the town of Newbury?
No,
Okay,
I
not
can't
yet,
around
okay.
that,
All
yeah.
right, okay.
I do need to still look into that,
No,
because I
that's fine.
think that would be a great way to engage more people.
Our assignment's to write a paragraph.
Give us a month.
We can put it up before that, it'll be fine within a month.
Okay, so yeah, we shall wait on the dates then.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds all the time, to be determined.
When I ask around about a Byfield location, at least when I'm over, well, I'm
For
here.
the library.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, the library
That's
or
pretty crowded,
the,
but
or
we
the,
schedules.
the cultural center there.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's not called the Yellow School anymore,
No,
it's
when I try to remember what it's called.
Byfield Center for the Arts.
Yeah, it's got a nickname too, okay,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But that's a good
That's a
point. The
great
library,
location.
if we're there during the day, evenings, it's pretty shot. That's why we moved to the firehouse for historical commission. We could never get scheduled into the library, because the evenings were so full.
Well, I think we're totally an additional news business now.
If we were to hold it on a Saturday again, we'd probably be okay in the morning.
I would also say that it might be,
I'll check the
Um,
library too.
it's not super far away from where we already held it, but Spencer Pierce Little might,
Yeah, that's
Saturday
an
afternoon
option, yeah.
there, since people,
Yeah,
it already gets traffic, might
Very
be
good
good
idea.
option.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Yeah.
It's-
I was thinking that
Old
PETA
historic.
Town Hall, you know, on Plum Island,
Right.
that's sort of the center there. I'm wondering, you know, I mean, could we have, you know, like the Boy Scouts do, my son was a Boy Scout, you know, could we do a table in front of the post office or, you know, I don't know. I went to the dump, you know, to get signatures, but I don't know if that's a good location. You know, stubborn.
That's which way the wind's blowing.
Right, okay.
Just brainstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
check-
we don't have to decide now,
I'll
right?
check the library and the Center for Arts,
Yeah,
whatever
Byfield
it's,
Center.
I like that.
everybody calls it.
Yeah, but it would have to be before, well, to be effective, really, before it closes,
Closed down
which is
in October.
October 14th, that weekend, so.
And hopefully we'll have a lot more to report on by
Mhm.
then as well, which will
Yeah.
include
Oh, which did remind me,
maps and things.
the article that came out was wonderful.
Yes.
I am wondering if there's any way we could get them to, or even just comment on it, with the link to the survey. Because that was the one thing missing, is the call to
What?
action, the link to the survey.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know it existed.
Right,
either.
right, and again.
And I was waiting,
They-
actually, I was waiting to write my letter to the editor, and then finally I was like, well, it's
Yeah.
this Saturday, so I have
Right.
to do it.
Right,
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
That's
So,
good, but
yeah.
and indeed, I've spoken to the reporter, and she will want to follow up
Great.
Oh, good, okay.
in due course, but not quite yet. Give it a little time. But yeah, when there's something else to report, particularly there's some certain things which I got back to her after the press time limited closed. But she's noted it down and I've emailed her. So good point to put it on that we have a follow-up. So yeah, that's good.
After, I sent in the letter to the editor asked the reporter, Julie, to follow up right away, and she was
So
on it
she's
right
the
away.
case, yeah.
So there's definite interest by, the Newburyport Daily
Yeah.
News, which is nice.
Did you know
And
she
probably
did?
the town common too, which covers, this
Oh,
area. Yeah.
Oh, right, that one, put that one on the list, yeah. Do you know she took the photograph as well?
Yeah, I think our next article, I mean, except for not counting the next meeting, just a release announcement, might be nice. That was another subcommittee I thought we might set up, would be to, a two-person group to look at the results of the survey when they come in, summarize them, do the statistics, write a few paragraphs on it, and then write a little article on it that we would send in. Just try to keep ourselves visible, over this multi-month process, that people don't forget we're actually going on in the background.
First, we have to get survey responses. We have none.
Visibility.
So,
Worst thing we could do is surprise them on the last day before it goes to town meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, we've been working on a study for the
Well, yeah,
last
this
2
is what we
years.
want to do.
Not
Push it
good.
And we
around.
want you to vote
Yeah,
yes.
no, that's not gonna work.
cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
And I'd love to be on the analysis committee for the data.
Yeah, that's your forte.
I know. Yes.
Right,
That's what this was,
we're
the
ready for the
survey.
next one.
I think so. Any more addition, any other, anything else?
business? Done.
Again, that word.
Okay. Right, so the floor is open if Russell wants to.
For all of
Yeah,
you.
I have a lot of comments, but nothing that needs to go on record.
Okay.
Okay, well, thank you very much for
Thanks for
coming
coming.
along, but I think we've recognised all the things that we need to recognise.
Future meeting.
Oh,
Date, we need to pick a date.
you made a motion to adjourn? Did you just?
No, I
No, we
No,
have
no,
to do
before we
a
adjourn.
new meeting.
Next meeting.
Oh, date, I'm sorry. I didn't hear what she said. Good.
Sorry, yes, yes.
Next.
Looking at middle of August.
Uh,
Yeah, I know there's some conflicts.
When are you going away?
And my wife just asked me that this morning and I didn't look it up yet. Hang on, let me look at the calendar, because I don't have it in there, I know that.
And then straight back.
I'm pretty sure it's the 19th through the 26th, so anytime in the beginning of the month. Oh, I'll be in Chicago on the well, that's September, okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, so the
Well, I'll be in Aruba.
first is on.
Aruba.
Yeah, that's my granddaughter, Or I guess they're in the Virgin.
I'm in Biloxi.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah,
Wow.
August.
Even better.
Anytime in the
during
beginning of the
hurricane
first couple
season
weeks of
even,
August.
yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
On the
I
10th.
cannot do the first,
The 10th,
Week.
and then I'm due, so
two. I can't do
there's no
the 14th.
point. So it's sort of like early September.
No, we can't look at,
So you leave, when do you leave?
And then I'm going to the UK on the 18th.
Oh, so just before him.
so how about the 15th? Is that good? 14th?
14th I can, I'm up in
Yeah,
New Hampshire
I'm-
for the
13th?
Nature Conservancy.
Yeah, I can do 13th.
13th?
13th is a Sunday.
Sunday.
Even better.
Mm-mm. Definitely not.
Okay.
Are The 15th or the 16th works for me.
16th, cool, I think.
Okay.
Oh, no, 16th.
16th?
I'm fine to-
16th is our meeting? Okay.
No, I
Nope,
can't.
15th.
But
15th?
It's a Tuesday, which I know is tough on terms of town, but.
15th.
15th is our meeting, okay.
Well,
15th?
does that work for everyone?
That works
Yeah,
for
that
me.
works for
Yes.
me.
All right,
Right,
next.
so Tuesday's still good for me on the 2nd.
I'll make it work.
And
On the
and
15th?
on a
Well,
Monday
the
on the
first-
2nd, and on Tuesday on the 2nd week.
Okay,
So
let
I'm
me,
okay for the 15th.
let me look at the town,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I know Tuesdays and Thursdays typically are pretty packed, so we need to make sure that.
But
this
they're
is
on
good.
summer schedule as well.
Is that different? That's different?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Calendar, let's look at the calendar.
And what time?
Well, ideally it should be like 5:30, if that
Okay,
works.
I'm just-
What day of the week is the 15th?
Tuesday.
Aye.
Okay, so let me see. There is a Conservation Commission meeting. Oh, it's on Zoom, so we're good.
Hey,
Oh, good.
Because that's from 6 to 9,
so,
which is really long.
yeah, that is long.
Yeah. So, okay, so the 15th at 5:30
15th
here.
at 5:30. Be there, be square.
Um,
Oh, I'm gonna get-
Bingo.
Very good.
Okay, so that was
Oh,
August
that's
15th.
that's my phone and it didn't ring.
I'll shut mine off.
Okay.
Good. I think this was productive.
Yeah. We've got a couple of subcommittees working,
Yeah.
All
good,
right.
good.
doing some
One.
stuff.
One.
We want
Oh, I thought we
to,
had
we want to
technical
adjourn.
overtime.
Yes, I'm going to do that
I think
now.
so.
One. That's
One,
good.
one in a row.
One in a row.
Right. Just to bear in mind just, oh, sorry, I think we'll, okay, proposed meeting adjourned.
So moved?
Second, moved, seconded.
Okay.